All right, let's jump right into this explainer. Today, we are uncovering the critical security vulnerabilities hiding right behind your enterprise's AI adoption. Look, we all know artificial intelligence is an absolute gold rush right now. Companies are scrambling to deploy large language models and generative tools to get a competitive edge. But integrating these incredibly powerful systems without a robust safety net, it's literally like driving a sports car at top speed with no brakes. It might feel exhilarating at first, but a crash is completely inevitable. So today, we're going to break down exactly what those risks are, how they function beneath the surface, and most importantly, how you can build a framework to protect your organization.
Before we get into the weeds, I want to share a quote from our source's executive summary that just hits the nail on the head. Unmanaged AI adoption creates new enterprise risks across data protection, model integrity, governance, decision accuracy, third-party dependency, and regulatory compliance. Notice that crucial word there, unmanaged. The technology itself isn't the bad guy. It's the total lack of oversight. When we just let AI run wild across corporate networks, we aren't just risking a minor IT glitch. We are opening the door to massive compliance fines and severe data disasters. So we've got a lot of ground to cover. We are structuring this into 5 clear parts. 1. The AI security dilemma. 2. Anatomy of AI threats. 3. Measuring the danger. 4. Action plan and controls. And 5. The management mandate. Let's get to it.
Starting off with Section 1, the AI security dilemma.
It's your classic double-edged sword, right? On one hand, AI brings us wild leaps in productivity and automation. But on the other hand, unmanaged deployment is a huge risk. The absolute biggest culprit here is something we call shadow AI. This is when well-meaning employees quietly start using free, unapproved AI tools to do their jobs without IT ever knowing. Imagine a marketing manager just uploading proprietary customer data to a random AI summarizer to save a few hours. To them, it's a harmless shortcut, but to the enterprise, that is a fast track to data leakage and massive governance gaps.
Which brings us right into Section 2, Anatomy of AI threats. Let's actually visualize what these risks look like. Let's look at data leakage first. Imagine accidentally emailing your private salary details to the entire company instead of HR. That's exactly what it's like when employees casually paste sensitive business plans or source code into a public AI prompt. That data is now exposed. And here's the truly terrifying part. Once it goes into a public model, it becomes part of that model's future training data. You can't just hit a delete button to get it back. It is gone, and it can lead to massive privacy breaches. Next up, hallucinations. This is kind of like asking a total stranger for directions, and they confidently send you miles in the wrong direction. The primary danger here isn't just that the AI is wrong, it's that it sounds so unbelievably convincing. It will literally invent facts and citations with absolute authority. Imagine your executive board making a massive strategic decision based on fabricated financial metrics. When people rely on this stuff without double-checking, it leads straight to disastrous business decisions.
Then we've got adversarial attacks. This happens when tiny, almost invisible changes to an input completely fool an AI system. It's basically like a bad actor slipping right past a trained security guard just by wearing a fake delivery uniform. The AI thinks everything is perfectly normal, but the attacker is actively manipulating the model, tricking the AI into bypassing its own safety guardrails to execute unauthorized commands.
Now, model poisoning is insidious because the system is corrupted from day one. It's literally like teaching a kid every single day that 2 + 2 = 5. Attackers mess with the training data itself to introduce hidden biases or security blind spots. So by the time that AI model is actually deployed into your environment, its foundational understanding of the world is just fundamentally broken. It's a ticking time bomb. So, instead of playing this chaotic game of whack-a-mole with a dozen different technical threats, we can actually group all of them into 5 structural domains: data protection, model integrity, AI trustworthiness, AI misuse, and third-party dependency. This framing is a total game changer. For instance, if you want to tackle prompt injection or jailbreaking, you just focus your controls right there on the AI misuse domain. Grouping risks like this brings order to the chaos and helps you allocate your cybersecurity budget where it actually matters.
Moving right along to Section 3, measuring the danger.
You've heard the old business rule a million times. You cannot manage what you cannot measure. We absolutely have to move away from worrying about abstract threats in the cloud and start tracking them actively on a data-driven dashboard. We do this by setting up key risk indicators, or KRIs. This is where it gets real. By establishing strict green, amber, and red thresholds for these key risk indicators,
You get an instant warning when things get dangerous. Take Shadow AI. If less than 70% of the AI tools your company uses are officially approved by IT, you are in the red. That means almost a third of your workforce is using unvetted tools. Alarm bells should be ringing. Or data leakage. More than 2 confirmed incidents in a single quarter, that automatically triggers a high red alert. It takes all the guesswork out of your security.
And using those metrics lets us prioritize our response. Because in cybersecurity, triage is everything. You simply can't fix it all at once. You have to attack critical priority risks like data leakage and shadow AI first. Stop the bleeding there. Once those are locked down, then you move down the list to high-priority items like hallucinations, and finally, dedicate resources to the medium to high threats like jailbreaking.
Knowing those priorities naturally leads us into Section 4, Action Plan and Controls.
Think of this as your defensive toolkit. To deploy AI safely, you need strict central governance. You have to maintain an ironclad inventory of all approved AI tools to starve out that shadow AI before it takes root. You need relentless user awareness training, but honestly, the most critical control is mandatory human oversight. Let the AI act as an incredibly smart assistant that writes the first draft or runs the initial data, but a human expert absolutely must make the final call.
And finally, Section 5, the Management Mandate.
Look, AI undeniably delivers a massive competitive edge. But to scale it safely, leadership has to ruthlessly enforce these foundational pillars: visibility, governance, data protection, human oversight, and continuous monitoring. You need security baked into the process from day one, not bolted on as a panicked afterthought once a breach happens. If you build your AI strategy on these pillars, you can innovate at lightning speed without ever compromising your company.
I want to leave you with this one final provocative thought. You've seen the data, you know the anatomy of the threats, and you know exactly what controls to put in place. But are you absolutely certain you know what AI tools your employees are using to do their jobs right now? If you cannot answer that with a 100% confident yes, then it is time to get to work. Start tracking those metrics, establish your governance, and shine a light on that shadow AI. Thank you so much for joining me in this explainer, and I highly encourage you to start applying this security framework to your organization today.